Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the first of many previews. Opening day is upon us. It's hopefully getting kicked off today. Hopefully everyone's as pumped up as I am to get these games underway. I think it's going to be a great ass season. So yeah, I'm going to break down quickly each game, mostly just talking about the pitching matchups that we're going to be seeing. I can only fit so many games on my board right now. Kind of working at seeing what I can do and what I want to do with that. There are a lot of games, so just try to keep these videos somewhat short. Just going to be quick and easy. We're going to break down the series. It's an interesting opening day weekend. Kicking off tomorrow, every team's in action. Or today, I guess this video is going to be coming out, but every team's going to be in action. Except so far they did postpone the Washington Nationals and Cincinnati Reds game, so that one won't be going on, but let's just jump into it. First game, early morning on Thursday, we got the Marlins and the Cubs. Urena and Lester are going to be going head-to-head. For me, this is an interesting one. Lester coming off a somewhat shakier season compared to previous years, so I'm interested to see what he has against them. The Marlins are going to be in for some trouble with this series. It's a 4-game set, so if they can take one out from the Cubs, I would consider that a success for them. Hendricks versus Smith, Darvish versus Despang, and Quintana versus Peters. Those are the matchups we're going to be seeing. For me, the Marlins pitching staff, it just goes to show here that it's going to be a long season for them. For me, to be honest, avid baseball watcher and fantasy player that I am, I do not even recognize anyone really on the Marlins pitching staff other than Urena, who's been there for a couple of years, the past 2 years or so. So I expect a 3-1 Cubs, if not a sweep, in this series. Moving on to the Pirates and the Detroit Tigers. We got Zimmerman versus Nova in the opening day match. Interesting one. Pirates, I think, have a little bit of an edge when it comes to the pitching. They got Nova, Williams, and Cole in their 3-game set, whereas the Tigers have Zimmerman, Fulmer, and Liriano. So this will be a pretty good series, even match teams, in my opinion, from what we've seen and what their rosters are looking like going in. So yeah, I'm not going to be jumping too much into these, just into the pitching matchups. I think when we do the review, we might go over some of the players, some of what we noticed in their lineups and things like that. But I'm really hoping to keep these under 20 minutes if I can. They are 15 games, so hopefully I don't go on too much of tangents like this one. Next one I'm most excited about, obviously, being the Jays fan, going up against the Yankees. Big series for them right out of the gate. They have had trouble with the Yankees, and the Yankees have done a lot of moves to make them ready for this season. First match, it's kind of interesting. They're not really matching up their pitchers, best starting day, so forth, and like that. I'm shocked to see Happ on opening day for the Blue Jays. They're going to go up against Severino, who had a good year last year for the Yankees. Game 2, you got Aaron Sanchez up against Tanaka. Pretty even match. Tanaka getting older. We'll see what he can do. Game 3, you got Estrada versus Sabathia, both pitchers that love to give up long fly balls, so that could be one of the higher scoring games. From that, last game on the Sunday, you got Stroman versus Sonny Gray. This, I think, will be interesting. I kind of expect the Yankees to be up 2-1 going into this fourth and final game. And if the Blue Jays can steal one here, then break coming out with a 2-2 series tie against the Yankees. I think they could count that up as a win, and the Yankees shouldn't really be too disappointed. We're going to be early in the season. It's going to be a long season, boys and girls, so let's be ready and just giving up some minor predictions, but what do I really know? St. Louis Cardinals, New York Mets. We got Martinez versus Syndergaard. That's a great matchup for a first game. Both possible Cy Young candidates, so I expect to see a low-scoring game, obviously, in this first one. Next game, we got DeGrom versus Walker. Slight edge to the Mets on this one. So yeah, with that, and then the very last game, you got Luke Weaver matched up against Steven Matz. Battle of the youngins here. Both of them have been in the league at least a year now, and they're given the third start there. Could be a rubber match. Either way, I kind of give the edge to the Mets in this series, but it's going to be a good one. That'll be a good series, and it'll be interesting to see how both these offenses line up and how they do with their new players and their new batting orders and things like that. Yeah, so moving on to the fourth game here, we got the Orioles and the Minnesota Twins. Orioles, first game, they got, my writing is so bad, Dylan Bundy going to the mound first game against Odorizzi. So, Odorizzi used to be on the Rays, always seen a lot of him, so this could be a really good matchup. This series, I think, is a good sign of possible battles down the road of two teams that are going to be fighting each other to get in that wild card position. I did have the O's down at the bottom, but they've been trying to make an effort, and if they're going to do anything here, they need to. These are going to be the series that they need to at least compete in, if not take away more wins than anything. Second game, we got Cashner Gibson, two iffy pitchers, maybe a high-scoring game, things like that. I'm noticing as I do this, I don't really have it sorted as home and away, so off the top of my head, I didn't really catch that. So hopefully the next six, I'll sort that one out. Last series, another AL East matchup. Hopefully it's all right with 4 games on this slate as well. Opening weekend's kind of interesting because Thursday to Sunday, all teams are going to be playing in their matchups. But some teams play 3, some play 4. Some teams get the Friday off, some teams get the Sunday off. Other teams play all 4. So this is another one that playing all 4, another AL East matchup. Sale versus Archer is going to be the biggest matchup between these two. Really expecting Boston to have a good series here right out of the gate. They're going to try to put their stamp on the Rays, put their stamp on this division. So they got Sale, Price, Porcello, and Velasquez as their 4 starters in that order. Rays have not decided who they're going on the third day, but they got Archer the first day, Blake Snell the second day, and Faria on the very last day, but they haven't decided or announced who they're putting out for that third game yet. But again, a really interesting series possibility here. Looking forward to that one as an AL Eastern baseball fan. Let's get on to this next board. Next 6 games we got going on here. Got the home teams on top of the away teams. So at the very top up here, we got the San Diego Padres being visited by the Milwaukee Brewers. Padres have announced Richard as their opening day starter. Interesting kind of choice for me. With Lamet going down, they're undecided who's going to pitch tomorrow. And after that, they got Perdomo as their third game. Anderson's going number 1 for the Brewers. He had an amazing year last year. I think they're hoping he can keep it up. However, a lot of the peripherals are showing that he won't be able to. So that'll be interesting. But with Anderson going first, they got Chacin and then followed up by Suter, both guys who are unproven. Chacin, I think, was with the Angels last year and kind of their 5th kind of backup kind of guy. And Suter, he's with the Brewers late. Showed some potential, so we'll see what's in store for these two teams. This is an interesting one because the Brewers are all about the offense, but they're coming into this Padres park, which is known for bringing offense down a little bit. So with these young guns in the Padres lineup, I'm interested to see if they can steal one away here and take the series 2-1. We already talked about it. Cincinnati Reds are hosting the Nationals. They're due to weather, I guess. Their first game was canceled and they moved it to Friday. So Scherzer, Bailey, matching up in the first game. Scherzer, we all know him mowing people down. Reds lineup, if they're anything like they used to be, they're going to be striking out a ton. So Scherzer should have no problem here. However, Cincinnati is known for some offensive capabilities in this ballpark. Like So if anything's going to go wrong for Washington, it could possibly happen in this ballpark. They got Strasburg going up against Castillo in game number 2. And in game number 3, they got Gio Gonzalez, who is going to be matched up with Romano, who is someone that I haven't seen play, so I'm not quite sure how he is. But I definitely could see the Nationals coming out flying this season with a 3-0 sweep of the Reds. They are on the road, so it's very likely the Reds are going to at least take one. Could even lose. It's baseball. Streaks happen. Who knows? But be interesting to see what this one looks like after this week. Next game, we got Angels in Oakland. Not a whole lot to say about Oakland. They've only announced Kendall Graven as their opening day starter. After that, they haven't really decided who is going to pitch. They got Manea, but it's been to be decided on all 3 games because this is a 4-game set. Angels, a lot of people are interested to see how they're going to do. They got Garrett Richards opening it up for them. Hoping he can build off last year. He had a short season last year coming off an injury, so that's what they're hoping for. Tyler Skaggs, another young guy who has had a couple injury problems the past couple of years, but they see a lot of potential in this guy. They're using him in game number 2. Game number 3, they're going to go to the good old Shoemaker, and we'll see how he does against this Oakland lineup. Both these guys, it's going to be interesting to see if the offense is there. The pitching staff seems to be there for the Angels for me. But with the ballparks and Oakland kind of known for being the defensive team that they are, it'll be interesting to see what they can do. And everyone's waiting for game number 4 of this series when they got Ohtani, finally, the guy from Japan, Babe Ruth himself, going to be starting in this game. There's been a lot of talk with him about how he might not really be the hitter. He's been struggling in the spring training with his pitching. He has the stuff, but it just hasn't been coming together. So I think they're going to want him to focus on his pitching before they really start to give him a chance at the bats. Next game, we got Royals hosting the Chicago White Sox. Danny Duffy versus Shields in game number 1. Shields, they're going with him as number 1, so he's their ace. Talked about it in my preview videos, but Shields is a questionable ace in this league. But they're going to him number 1. Kennedy going in the second game against Gettillo. Not quite sure of him. I haven't seen him play, so I don't have a lot of input on him. But Ronaldo Lopez is going for number 3 for the Chicago White Sox, and I liked him when he was in Washington. So he's a young guy with a lot of potential. So I'm interested to see who the Royals are going to send out against him. It's not decided yet, but this is a division game. Division series, I should say. So I expect a split here, 2-1. I'm going to lean towards the home team, the Kansas City Royals. Next series, we got the Colorado Rockies are visiting the Arizona Diamondbacks. Big talk about the Diamondbacks and the changes they made to their stadium this year, adding a humidifier or something. It's supposed to really make the offense less in the stadium. We all know the Rockies are known for their offense. The Diamondbacks have been known for their offense. Both of these ballparks have been known for high total numbers, for runs scored in games. So it'll be interesting to see if this has any impact on the Diamondbacks' offense and that over the season. They're sending Corbin out in game number 1, which is a little surprising to me. He's their opening day starter. Maybe he earned it a little bit in the training camp, but he's going up against John Gray, who is by far the Rockies' leader in the pitching department. Rockies send Anderson up against Ray in game number 2. Ray is coming off a pretty great season last year, lots of Ks. Low ERA compared to the before that, so he's hoping to keep that up, and I kind of expect him to keep that up. Greinke versus Marquez. That'll be a rubber match, I believe, in this series. It's going to come down to that matchup. But Marquez coming off a great season last year. Greinke has always been pretty solid. Ex-Cy Young winner when he was in the American League, so you got to watch out for him. Again, I think it's going down to the Sunday. It's going to be a rubber match. So I'm going to give the slight edge to the Diamondbacks in this one. Last game on this board, we got the Mariners hosting the Cleveland Indians. Indians are traveling across the country to get this season started. Entering the Safeco Field, Felix Hernandez, King Felix. The crowd is going to be excited to see him out there. Definitely in the game one, but the Indians are countering with Corey Kluber. Guy's a crusher, so I really see it as a tough matchup. Indians are a great team, so I'm going to give Indians a big edge in this series, even though they're traveling, even though they're in Seattle. They're ready for this season. They're going to come out swinging. They got a couple new additions with Alonso, who's going to see what he can do. Game number 2, Paxton Carrasco. This is the one game I really can see going either way. Paxton has the potential to steal this one. I'm either giving the Indians a 3-0 series sweep. Again, that's bold with them on the road. So 2-1 Indians for this. The last game will be between Bauer and Leake, but I think the middle game is the one we want to watch, and the one that's going to be the rubber match decider if it's a 3-0 or just a 2-1 for me. Got a couple more games to go, so let's do. All right, very last couple games here. Dodgers hosting the Giants. I think this is a great one. It's a 4-game set. Giants are likely only going to steal one out of this one. We know they're not going to beat Kershaw home. That just doesn't happen. So with Alex Wood, Maeda, and Hill as their next 3, it's hard to say which one they're going to steal. They got Black, Cueto in their first 2 slots. Bumgarner's not going to be in this series. They got Samardzija possibly, but the last 2 games are to be decided, so it's tough to know. But I really don't see much. Dodgers are going to come out swinging. They're going to be taking this division by the horns right off the bat. So Giants, if they can pull 2-2, that'd be amazing for them. But I just don't see it. I see a Dodgers win in this series. Next one, we got the Phillies going into the Atlanta Braves. First game of the set, Aaron Nola taking on Tehran. That'll probably be one of the better matches of opening day. This is, even though they're 2 weaker teams, they match up fairly well. Could be a close game. The pitchers match up fairly well, so I really like this series. It could really go anyway. One team could sweep, one team could 2-1, whatever. Like, who knows what's going to happen. Next game, you got Folowitz, or whatever, versus Pivetta. Don't really know Pivetta. He wasn't really around the past couple of years, so we'll see what he has. Phillies are a really new-look team, so with their pitching staff, I'm surprised they don't have Arrieta going in this opening set, but it doesn't look like they're going to be. Brandon McCarthy matches up against Velasquez in the last set. Last game of the series, so that'll probably be a good match too. So I'm really excited. Like Freddie Freeman, I'm excited to watch him. I'm excited to see these Phillies, to be honest. They've had some pretty crappy seasons the past couple of years, but with their upcoming prospects, they're a whole new look team. And they got rid of some of their core guys like Galvis, so it's one of the series I'm actually looking forward to. I know most people are like, you're crazy. But yeah, last game we saved the best for last. We got the Houston Astros taking on the Rangers in Texas, in Arlington, Texas. But yeah, 4-game set between these guys. The Rangers, if they can take 2, they're going to be really pleased. The Astros pitching staff is just one you don't want to mess with. You got Verlander, Keuchel, McCullers, Cole. Those are your first 4 pitchers. You know they got Morton in the background. You know they got Peacock. You know they got other guns. Like, their bullpen's strong. Like, this is gonna be a great team to watch all year long. The best chance I think the Rangers have is Hamels game 1 against Verlander. Hamels really looking to bounce back from the past couple seasons. He's not been what he has shown in the past. Maybe it's coming on with age, and maybe the Hamels we knew from Philadelphia just no longer exists. But I think that's their best chance to steal one, because after that they go down to Doug Fister. Fister against the Astros, trouble. Then they go down to Matt Moore. Matt Moore against the Astros, trouble. And then Mike Minor, again, trouble. So the Astros are probably going to put up a hell of a lot of runs. Rangers, they're going to have trouble putting up runs. So this could be a sweep. Like, I'm not calling a sweep. It's ballsy to say 4-0. So 3-1 Astros on this one, 4 games. And that breaks down 15 quick games, very quick. I know the video is still 20 minutes long, but when you're going in through 15 games, it's just going to be the way it is. Hoping to get some feedback. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you think I can do to kind of make these preview videos better. I know a lot of people have said that they don't know what I'm talking about half the time, don't know half the players, so I'm really hoping to be able to do that through other videos, kind of jump into teams, and hopefully on reviews. I think reviewing the series might be a little bit longer of a video, timestamps for sure, so we'll see where it goes. But if you like where this is going and hoping to follow along with the ride of the 2018 season, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm hoping to come out with a couple of videos a week. Drop me a like, and yeah, leave a comment below, and I'll definitely get back to you. Thanks for watching, and let's enjoy opening day, boys and girls. Cheers.